And well, amid mounting concerns over deteriorating air quality and public health, the centre has now responded to the Delhi High Court on the demand for GST cuts on air purifiers. With AQI levels in the Delhi NCR region still fluctuating between the moderate and severe categories depending on wind speed and temperature, the crisis is far from over. At the centre of the latest flashpoint is the demand for a tax reduction on air purifiers, triggering a legal and policy debate between the centre and the Delhi High Court. The centre has informed the Delhi High Court that there will be no urgent GST Council meeting to consider a tax cut on air purifiers. In its reply, the centre has said that GST Council cannot classify air purifiers as medical devices, clarifying that such classification falls under the Health Ministry, calling the petition calculated and loaded. The centre argued that the court cannot direct the GST Council on policy decisions. The PIL seeks a reduction in GST on air purifiers from 18% to 5%, along with a demand to recognize air purifiers as medical equipment. Anisha Mathur will join us shortly to take us through the details of all that transpired in court, as the petitioner also countered the centre when the centre said that they want to file a reply, as they are saying that there will be no immediate meeting of the GST Council as far as rate cuts or GST cuts on air purifiers are concerned. And while Delhi is grappling with air to breathe and pollution levels that continue to surge, this is the latest flashpoint as far as the centre is concerned, where the GST Council is saying that they cannot classify air purifiers as medical devices. They've clarified that such classification falls under the Health Ministry, and that is where the decision will be taken, calling the petition calculated and loaded. The centre has argued that the court cannot direct the GST Council on any policy decisions. Bringing in my colleague Anisha Mathur, now joining us on the broadcast. Anisha, take us through details of what the centre has said in court, and most importantly, if the buck passes between the Health Ministry and the GST Council, how do we possibly see a solution to this problem?
Well, Sayesha, we are seeing this now play out. It will take the next few days. As today, the Delhi High Court has asked the Additional Solicitor General, appearing on behalf of the GST Council, appearing on behalf of the government, to take this decision to the council and to the relevant ministries. Now, let's look at what the court was told by the government. One, that court cannot pass such orders because the GST Council is a constitutional body in itself. It is a body that involves finance ministers from across all states and union territories as well as the centre. Second, that classification of something as a medical device has to be done by the Health Ministry and the Drugs Control Authority. Thirdly, they have also questioned the background of the petitioner, saying that this kind of petition should not have been filed, that because there's already a parliamentary committee recommendation, it is something that the GST Council will consider in due course. Now, that is the question that has come up before the Delhi High Court, that if the government says we will take a decision in due course, how long does Delhi wait? And that is something the petitioners as well as the High Court has questioned, that why can't you take a decision speedily? 9th of January is the next hearing in this matter, and the court has again and again asked the centre to take a decision on this, see what can be done, even though today the council was very clear that the GST Council cannot be called. Okay, the committee meeting cannot be called immediately on High Court orders. The court has still said, we're giving you some time, please take a look at this. Why should air purifiers be something that ordinary people cannot afford? In fact, the bench pointed out that it costs between 10,000 to 60,000 rupees to buy an air purifier for the home, and most people cannot afford that. So Delhi's air emergency, but the government is saying that we will take a decision in due course, and that is where the questions, Sayesha, are really being asked of the government by the petitioners and the court. Back to you.
All right, Anisha, many thanks for getting us the latest, keeping a very close eye on how the story develops in the days to come. For the moment, we go across